Hello everyone, this is KID and the Man bringing you all another figure review of the Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection, the Amazon exclusive Ecliptor and Astronema 2-pack. First off, Happy New Year everyone! I hope you all had a great time celebrating the end of 2021 and are doing well adjusting to 2022. And secondly, let's take a closer look at Ecliptor and the new Astronema figure. I got this set from an independent reseller who has a contact from China to ship it out to him. For now, I'm not too sure if Amazon has started shipping this set out yet, but I think it was sometime last year that we got to see a sneak peek at the set in one of the conventions being held in China. I believe it's called the Chinese Wonder Festival, and we got a few pictures showing these two figures along with many others. After plenty of research done by content creators, we found out that these are probably a part of the Amazon Evo capsule. Don't quote me on that. I actually missed out on the first shipping of this set back in December where my dealer asked me if I wanted them. I skipped out on that offer hoping that my main dealer would get them sooner. That didn't happen, so this time around when I was asked again, I immediately jumped on that opportunity and get them in my hands. If you're familiar with how the way the Figuarts ship out their P-Bandai exclusive products by having an exclusive cardboard box covering the outside of the figure box, that's how this set came into my possession, which was a real surprise. I'll share the unboxing of that at the end of the video. And just like how you saw the unboxing at the beginning of this video, you could say that you would be in a big surprise once you get them in your hands. As we take a look at Ecliptor, you are going to hear me repeat the same point often, and I'm sure that a lot of you are going to agree. Hasbro never had a good reputation when it comes to making monster figures. However, they do try to put in effort when it comes to the monsters who appear in more than one episode of a series. But Ecliptor here is probably the most difficult one to recreate in figure form. The sculpting of this figure is more phenomenal. They did an amazing job recreating this character in figure form as his design is based on a wireframe model. So it makes sense that the sculpting of this figure will turn out great. As for the painting, there was an attempt. Despite the minimal paint apps on this figure, it does bring out the essential details that matter. The green highlights on his face does bring out the look that we know and love. From the ears, to the eyebrows, to his face, to his nose, and his side face hair. All of which are essential for you to recognize Ecliptor's iconic look. His eyes are generally nicely painted, and his hair design is nicely sculpted. As I mentioned about the minimal paint apps earlier, there will be certain areas of the figure that will be left out, like a few edges of the hair and a few panel lines on his neck. The amazing sculpting continues throughout his entire chest area, including his abs, which should not be a problem because of his gradient look. But of course, not all of the abs can be painted. Perhaps it is due to the size of the cube that's affecting it. The right shoulder armor will experience the most of this type of issue where there are many cracks and details to its design that not all of it can be painted. This isn't a panel line issue as Ecliptor's main look is to have the green paint appear on the edges throughout the entire character. So if he doesn't have an obvious sharp edge, then expect zero paint to be on it. The same can be said for the left shoulder. However, I do want to give Hasbro the benefit of the doubt that it doesn't have much to do with laziness, but due to budget constraints whenever we have a monster character. Of course, they would have to keep the consistency throughout the back of the figure. Majority of the obvious details will be painted with the exception of the hard to reach places. But I would have appreciated if the proper back of the figure to be painted because there are some obvious details to it. Taking a break from the paint job, I must warn you about his shoulder armor. Although they are loose to allow the most articulation possible for the arms, it is connected by a soft rubber plastic material. So depending on where you are in the world, cold countries, be sure to warm up the figure before you decide to rotate it. This also goes out to you inbox collectors for when you decide to take it out, as the soft plastic might deteriorate and break off the moment you remove it from the packaging. There's no butterfly joint on the figure due to how blocky Ecliptor's design is. The proper shoulder of the arm is unpainted as it will mostly be hidden away, but it is sculpted. The most effort applied for the paint job can be seen on his gauntlet, and I love that about him, as it's obviously a hard to reach place, but it is too iconic to be left out. The The joint on his right arm is sculpted too, but it would have been rubbed off if they had painted it otherwise. As for his left arm, the minimalism continues in both the front and back. But of course, it's nice to see his gold bracelet is painted nicely in a flat gold paint. As for the waist of the figure, it's pretty basic. But the main area that requires your attention is the exposed wiring. Here you can clearly see that the sculpting is great. It's nothing too over the top, but it's appreciated with the additional paint of red, blue and maybe black on the exposed wires. And the back of the waist is not bad too. For the lower half of the body, not too much effort was used as opposed to the top half. You're gonna have the same wireframe sculpting with the minimal paint apps, and they are applied throughout the rest of the bottom half of the figure. The minimalism does get worse, however, as we go further down when you look at his feet. Despite having good sculpting for the feet, you only get it painted on the top. Lastly, he's got some flat feet. He comes with a weapon holding hand, fists, effect blasting hand, his signature sword, a new effect piece, which can be easily wrapped around the sword after fiddling with it a few times. Just don't leave it on it for too long as it might bend the sword. And another effect piece we've seen that came with the Lord Dragon Evo 3. I'm sure you would have noticed by now is that Hasbro only painted the hands of Ecliptor that came with him out of the box. And for the extra hand accessories, they're unpainted. Whether if it's laziness or being out of budget, it's anyone's guess. Here he is next to an upcoming review of Scorpina and Psycho Silver, a previously reviewed monster figure, the Pumpkin Rapper and King Sphinx, and since it's trending, here's a Legacy Collection build a Megazord, the Dino Korak, and a premium model kit. As for the potential double dip, here's Astronema. After taking a closer look at the figure on hand, I can say that you are all in for a big surprise, as Astronema Pink here has an entirely new head sculpt, which is significantly different than Astronema Blue. That's what I'm gonna call them. Instead of a remold of the hairstyle, we got ourselves a nice looking face sculpt and a luscious head of wavy pink, purple, violet hair. There are no hair ties or accessories on the hair, therefore there are no missing paint. There is a headband on the forehead which is nicely sculpted and painted. The facial features this time gives her a more mature look for her as compared to Astronema Blue. The headband accessory or her hair accessory is painted in silver and is nicely sculpted. We also get a new accessory of her necklace locket, which was previously molded on the armor of Astronema Blue, plus it is removable when you remove her head. What makes this figure special is that we get a new body mold. Here I thought we'll be getting a repaint of the body to suit this corset design. But if you were to look at the shoulder straps from a side angle, it's pretty clear that Hasbro was not lazy when designing Astronema Pink. This new mold has the corset design in a raised pattern for the chest and stomach area in both silver and perhaps a dark grey paint. Just be careful if you were to pose her to have an ab crunch, as it might cause some paint chipping. The back of the figure is not just your simple paint job, but the design of the corset continues to the point where you can see the zipper and the straps. Now that is really appreciated. As for her arms, other than the slight paint differences, they are the exact same arms as we got with Astronema Blue. The back of the hands are unpainted, but that's an easy fix. Taking a look at the boomerang holster, it looks like the exact same one we got with Astronema Blue, but I can't shake the feeling that there might be a slight difference. We'll take a closer look at the comparisons later on, but we still get the standard female legs for the villain figures, so that's good. Unfortunately, that is the only good thing to come with Astronema Pink, as her accessories are in fact recycled items that came with Astronema Blue. I've already covered all of these in my Wave 1 vs 2 pack video, so you can check that out later on in the cards above. For comparisons, here's Astronema Blue. To do it properly, you need to remove the head first, then fiddle with the armor to reveal the body mold underneath. As you can see here, her corset is actually painted on in a very suggestive manner. And taking a closer look at Astronema Pink, you can see the clear details on her. For the face sculpts, it's obviously a different mold. I can't really decide which one I like better. The way I see it, Blue looks younger as compared to Pink, plus there are a few makeup differences too. As for the gauntlets, they are the same mold with Pinks looking shinier than Blues, where one is silver and the other is grey. The back of the corset is an obvious change, and the garter belt boomerang holster has a minor size difference. The reason for the difference in tie sizes is probably due to that, where since Hasbro has reduced the size of the holster, they didn't need to give Pink an oversized tie. and that is a significant improvement. But another improvement for Pink. Here's a closer look at her locket necklace, which can be removed once you pop off Pink's head. You could switch the two heads together, however keep in mind that Pink doesn't have a ball jointed connector. It's slightly bit cut off, so you gotta be careful when switching the two heads together. One major flaw of mine is that she has uneven legs, where the left leg, your right, is slightly longer than the other, making me having to spread her legs wider to make her stand. So here she is next to Astronema Blue, Astronema Black, previously reviewed Zeo Pink Ranger, Dino Fury Basic Pink, Legacy Collection 2017 Movie Pink, and the Pink
Magenta
Figurized Standard Kamen Rider Decade. So all in all, this is actually a pretty good set. You get a brand new villain figure, basically a general like Golda, and one of the many versions of Astronema as she appeared on the show. Just a few more left and we might have ourselves a team of Astronema figures with potentially different molds. The most important thing to know is that some things need to be removed in order to allow other things to be made. However, the real important thing is, should I rearrange my shelf? So if you like this video, blast that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know if you're looking forward to this set, share this video with your friends and family as to let them know about this wonderful family 2-pack, and consider subscribing because the Ninjetti video is coming up soon. This is KID and the Man, and I'll see you all next time.